Hey, everybody, welcome on into the Big Access Podcast. My name is Brock Benson, and I am the host and the VP of Marketing here at ProdataKey. I'm really excited about today's episode because it's going to be all about how we work in different verticals with different integration partners. We've got a couple of great partners lined up in today's episode where they're going to talk to us a little bit about who they are and how they work in a specific vertical. So with this first one, I'm really excited to have Bryce on from Singlewire Software. He's going to be talking to us all about school security in particular and how that works with PDK. Bryce, thank you a ton for taking the time to jump on the Big Access Podcast today. Yeah, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about who Singlewire is and then go a little bit more into how you guys work with schools.
Yeah. So Singlewire Software is a 23-year-old company based out of Madison, Wisconsin. And our primary products have been selling a platform which helps deliver notifications, mass notifications, critical notifications. And it started out primarily as providing paging for UCAS deployment. So say you're moving to Zoom or Ring Central or things like that, and you need to have some advanced paging capabilities like you used to have on your PBX. Well, we can provide those. But what we also did is we incorporated with schools. We can do bell schedules. We can do weather alerts. You draw a geofence around your building, and we can provide the weather alerting in there. And as things have progressed, there's been a lot of other laws that have passed, like Alyssa's law, where it's required that you have a panic alert technology in each classroom. Well, for us, we can be able to provide that. And the difference is that we can provide the flexibility of having multiple different ways to have those button presses. So they could be shortcut keys on a laptop. They could be our mobile app. They could be a panic button on the wall or under the desk. They could be an IoT sensor. They could be a button on a phone. And as part of that, we not only send out the notifications, we send them out to everything. We send them out to IP speakers, analog speakers, radios, digital signage, etc. So with that platform, we've been able to help schools not only augment and add additional new paging to their capabilities, fix bell schedules, but now also add critical notifications and alerts. And as part of that platform, because it's an open platform, we work with companies like yours in order to incorporate the other steps into the process. So maybe you just want to have one button. Why do you need to have several buttons to do a lockdown? As part of a lockdown, you want to send out notifications to everybody, whether that be via audio, digital signage, on a cell phone, whatever. But also send the command to the access control system to lock the doors, or send a command to your access control system, dim the lights, lower the shades, do all these type of things. So what we've focused on is providing that platform in the middle that lets you take all these different disparate devices and bring them together to deliver one common workflow and do it on a system that you're used to using every day. So I like to tell some of my schools, well, if you had a bell schedule go off today, well, you've just tested your emergency lockdown capability because it's the same system.
That's so cool. I mean, ultimately, what you guys are here to do is help protect. And when everything is all under one system, that is going to do it faster and better. So I love that. If you guys want to learn more about Singlewire and how it works with PDK, please feel free to reach out to our sales team and we can go ahead and get a demo scheduled with the team over there at Singlewire. And we can teach you all about how PDK and Singlewire work together to help protect our kids out there in education facilities. So thank you a ton, Bryce. Really appreciate you jumping on.
You look forward to the partnership.
All right, now in our next segment, we're going to talk all about multifamily applications, MDUs, right? Multi-dwelling units. This is a really big thing for PDK. We've got a lot of customers who have apartment complexes or condominium, areas, HOAs. This is all really big in our field, and PDK has a lot of applications in that field. We've got great integrations with a lot of good property management softwares and even with video platforms that work really well with it. In this next segment, we're going to talk a little bit more about how PDK works with an awesome video partner, Vivotek. I've got Ken here with Vivotek joining us, who's going to be talking to us a little bit more about who Vivotek is and how they work in the MDU space. Ken, thanks a ton for joining us on today's episode of the Big Access Podcast.
Appreciate the opportunity to participate in this.
Well, hey, thank you again. I'm really looking forward to learn a little bit more about who Vivotek is and how you guys work in the MDU space. Do you mind sharing a little bit about who you are and how you work there?
Yeah, absolutely. So Vivotek's been around for 25 years. Primarily, we're known as a camera manufacturer, IP cameras, all the different form factors. But that's kind of who Vivotek has been known as. But in the recent years, we've had on-premise VMS systems, but we've developed something called Vortex, which is our cloud-based VMS. And so now we're able to manage through the cloud, record through the cloud, store in the cloud, and that's where we're migrating toward.
No, that's so cool. I know that, I've got to meet with your team quite a bit over the last couple of months that we've developed this really good partnership, and I love what you guys have created. It's a really sweet integration, and it really simplifies a lot of the management applications that a user might experience. With integrating it with PDK, it's very simple and easy to do. You can go right to the PDK integrations page. You go and find Vivotek Vortex there. You go ahead and enable that, and then you log in with your Vortex login information, and then you can start linking cameras to doors, and it's pretty sweet. And then that way you can go ahead and look up bookmark footage. You can go ahead and compare both the access that you're viewing with the user's profile photo in PDK. It's really simple, and it really makes a great management experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Pulling those access events in through our app makes it that, I know it's an overused term, but like the single pane of glass. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a one-stop. I've got one app that can control all these things through that integration, but it's really effective and really easy to use.
I agree. Do you mind telling me how you guys go about, using Vivotek Vortex in an MDU space?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, obviously in a environment like that, there are tons of access points. You have obviously doors, you have garages, you have internal garages going into buildings. There's all these access points in there. And so what we can do is we can pull those cameras in and view every access point. But what we're really doing is also leveraging our AI. So we have some really good AI tools that helps these facilities manage their business or their property, and you're there to protect your tenants, protect their property. And one of the things, for example, is like a profile search. We can create profiles of individuals. Maybe it was a bad actor. You can keep that profile on, and obviously, someone's too rowdy at the pool or something like that. You want to know when they've come on the property again, because maybe you have to deal with that if there's damage. But you're protecting other residents, and when that person comes back, if they're a guest of even one of the residents, we can flag that. We can track perimeter security. We can do searches with our AI search on different demographics. You can type in "man with red shoes" if that's the person, and we call it's like a think search, like search like you think. And because when people view events, they're not like red shirt hat. It's pretty simple. What they're doing is like, I don't know, this guy ran off. He got in a car. I got 2 digits of the plate. 1 and 3 were the only things I saw. You can search by that criteria. So it makes it great for protection. Obviously, cars are coming and going. People have guests all the time. You can control their access credentials for the residents, but it's just this huge management tool. And general managers aren't always the people that need to see the video. So they can share this with the property management group. A property manager can view multiple locations through a single login and see all that activity, get those notifications, and it's really simple to use.
That's awesome. I can't agree more with you. Property management companies, they love the integration of PDK and Vivotek. If you guys who are watching and listening to this podcast want to learn more about how you can use PDK and Vivotek together in an MDU scenario, please feel free to reach out to our sales team. We'll get you guys in contact with the team over at Vivotek, and we can do a joint demo. Thanks again, Ken. Really appreciate having you join us on the Big Access podcast today. We will talk to you next time.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, this next segment of the Big Access podcast is all about retail. Retail is a really big market that you're going to find a lot of security products need to be in. And today I've got a really cool guest who specializes a lot in the retail world, and that is OpenEye. Many of you guys are familiar with OpenEye. They make fantastic cameras and an awesome VMS, and we've got a really great integration with that. Today, we've got Scott Spencer with OpenEye, who's going to be jumping on today to talk to us a little bit about who OpenEye is and also how they work in the retail world, and then also how we integrate together to really create a good turnkey solution. Scott, thanks a ton for taking the time out of your day to jump on the Big Access podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, Scott, why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about who OpenEye is first?
Yeah, absolutely. So, OpenEye, we're a cloud managed platform. We're in the video space, obviously, and our solution is a little bit unique in that we have all our videos stay locally on the boxes, but all the management tools have been moved to the cloud. So it's kind of a hybrid approach, if you will. It's not an on-prem solution. And it's not a pure cloud storage solution. Kind of fits that niche right in the middle, and that's why we've been so successful in the retail space.
That's awesome. Tell me kind of how OpenEye got into the retail world and really why you guys thrive so well in that retail space.
Yeah, good question. So, obviously we've been around for quite some time. And the retail really lends well to our platform. Customers that have multiple locations, have multiple users, face stringent IT requirements, and they really are looking for a solution that is on the IT side, very helpful and a very light lift and something that's unique in the marketplace, not like your standard on-prem systems. And then it just lends well. It's the user management tools that we have built in, the usability, how we can find, save, and share video in a matter of seconds, which has always been our Achilles heel in our industry, is getting video to people and in a timely manner. We've solved all of those issues.
Man, it sounds awesome. I mean, you just nailed on the head why PDK thrives in retail environments as well, right? It's the multi-site, it's the quick, easy user management, on-the-go management. That's so important for people in the retail world. And so it's really good to hear that you guys really have mastered that as well. I love that you said that it's the instant, the instant alert ability and the ability to take those instant recordings and be able to share those. That's so important, especially in a retail world.
Time is of the essence a lot, right? And the bad guy was there a second ago. It'd be really nice to get that video to authorities within minutes rather than hours, and be a little more proactive versus reactive, right? Our industry's always been very reactive, and we're changing that as an industry in a whole, just not OpenEye.
Absolutely. I love that. And one of the ways that we focus on that proactive security is by integrating access control, right? Access control has always been about that proactive security, where cameras, traditionally have always been that reactive security. Well, here we are blending the two together to really create the most, protected system that is capable out there. And so we've gone ahead and we've created a really sweet integration with OpenEye and with PDK that's very easy to set up. In fact, from the PDK IO side of things, all you need to do is go to the integrations page. You go down, you find OpenEye, you enable it, you log in with your OpenEye login information, and then you can simply link your cameras to your doors right then and there. At that point, it goes ahead and it sends in all sorts of bookmarked events right into OpenEye. So then when you're in your OpenEye software, you can go ahead and find those bookmarked events or whatever type of critical event happened. You can go and find all of that stuff instantly.
The way we used to do it back in the olden days is everything was relay based and kind of clunky, right? With the PDK and OpenEye integration, it's all in the cloud, makes it super easy. Everything is always updated. Back in the day, we used to have the issues where, access control company A would upgrade their information or their software, and video company A wouldn't catch up to that, right? It'd be a 4-day or 4-week or 4-month lag on that. With the cloud, when we both update our APIs in the cloud, everything's automatic. So there's no more delays and upgrades. So if you all add a new feature, we ingest that right out of the gate from the cloud to cloud integration. So it's very smooth integration.
It is. It is. Well, we are just about out of time on today's episode of the Big Access Podcast. So, Scott, thanks a ton for taking your time to come jump onto it. Well, very educational. I loved learning a little bit more about it, and hopefully our listeners did as well. If you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe to this podcast, give it a 5-star rating, and let us know if there's a specific topic that you're looking to learn about, and we'll be sure to add that to an upcoming lesson. But thank you again for tuning into this week's episode. We will see you next time.